Good morning. This is Deborah Matthews, Vicar of Verwood. Now into October, we are still in the season of the year when we think about the environment, which includes our stewardship of the planet and the welfare of all God's creatures. We know that our track record hasn't been very good, and we can see the evidence of this on our TV screens in various documentaries, including the latest David Attenborough programme, Extinction. Well, this Sunday, 4th of October, is the feast day of St. Francis of Assisi. He is one of the better known saints, the patron saint of animals, and we often see him depicted in art, surrounded by God's creatures, particularly the birds. Usually on the Sunday nearest to St. Francis Day, we have a service where people are invited to bring their pets to church for a blessing. Animals across the world are blessed on St. Francis' feast day. But of course this year we cannot hold the service. But we will be remembering them and looking forward to inviting them back next year. Many pets have been such a source of great comfort to people during these last months. Well, this Sunday is also known as Animal Sunday, and I discovered this when a well-known cosmetic company sent me an email advertising their products, which are kind to animals, being of particular note for this coming Animal Sunday, and of course St. Francis Day. Well, Francis was born in 1182 in Assisi in Italy. He was the son of a rich cloth merchant. He grew up enjoying the privileges of a rich young man with dreams of becoming a knight. In 1202, when war broke out between Assisi and Perugia, he got his chance to fight in the cavalry. But he was quickly captured, and because he looked wealthy, he was not killed with many of his comrades, but he was imprisoned for a ransom, which took a year to be paid. And during this year, he had plenty of time to think about his life, and he was reputed to have received visions. When he was eventually freed, Francis went home to Assisi with a different outlook on life. After he recovered his strength from his year of incarceration, he realised that his old life held no attraction for him. He had become aware of the things that really mattered. And I think many of us would agree that during these times of lockdown and restrictions, that we have a much clearer picture of what is really important in our lives. Well, Francis spent an increasing amount of time in prayer in remote spaces. And one day when he was praying in an old run-down church, Francis heard a voice telling him to go and repair my church, which you see is falling down. So Francis set out on a mission to restore the church and to embrace poverty. He drew thousands of followers to listen to his sermons and join in his way of life. His followers became known as Franciscan friars. Francis often sought out places where he could be alone to pray, but he remained in the world, preaching the gospel and caring for the poor. Francis was said to have preached to the animals, which caused him to be viewed as God's fool by some, but many people were captivated by him. And many legends grew up around him. Once, so the story goes, Francis was preaching to a group of people about Jesus, and the birds were so noisy that he asked them to be quiet while he spoke. And immediately they were quiet, and when he had finished speaking, they resumed their song. Well, one of the joys that I have experienced during lockdown has been able to record sermons and Bible readings from the garden or from out on one of my walks on the common. And I was so surprised at how loud the bird song actually is. It really added to that sense of the glory of God all around us in the natural world. St. Francis had this great love for everything that God has made. He died on this evening of October the 3rd, 1226, at the age of 44. And the communities that he founded still exist today and follow his rule of poverty, obedience to Christ, prayer at all times, and love of nature in every form. The love and care for the natural world has never been more needed on earth than it is today. And so, as we remember Francis, we pray for the will to do our part in nurturing the earth that nourishes us and for caring for all of its inhabitants. Have a good week and God bless you.